You have reached the Khyber Pass podcast, bringing you interviews with improvisers. I'm your host, Paul Metzger. This week, I talk with George Cartwright. Saxophonist, guitarist, originating below the Mason-Dixon line. Making his way through the New York downtown music scene. He shared with me his history and some insights into his playing. This podcast is made possible, as always, by the Khyber Pass Cafe in St. Paul, Minnesota. George Cartwright performed in quintet with George Cartwright on saxophones and electric guitar. Noah O.B. on laptop. Yours truly on modified electric guitar. Josh Gronowski, bass, and George Marriage, drums. I have a short excerpt from the performance, followed by the interview with Mr. Cartwright. George Cartwright.
Paul Metzger.
Welcome so much to the Khyber Pass podcast. You are about number 33.
Wow, that's a good number. I like 33.
Yeah, it's symbolic.
Adds up to 6.
Age of Christ at his death.
6?
33.
Was he? I thought it was... Oh, well, never mind.
So, George, so what I'd like to do with you is kind of roll it back, right? To like, you grew up in?
I grew up in the Mississippi Delta, south of Memphis, north of Vicksburg. It's an alluvial floodplain that is really, really flat.
Okay.
It's not the river delta down in the Gulf of Mexico. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where almost all the blues people came from.
Okay, so you came up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little sprout running around on the delta, causing trouble.
Absolutely.
Do you have brothers or sisters at that? Are you?
I had a sister.
Okay.
Yeah. I still have a sister.
All right. Nice. And then, what is it that happens to you where music turns into something? Like you're a kid and you're just fucking around, but then was there that little moment where you took note of music as being something important?
Well, I love church, singing in church.
Mm-hmm.
Methodist hymns are just wonderful. And somehow, when I was 10 or 11, my grandmother went to Jackson, Mississippi, and at that point we were living on a farm outside Midnight, Mississippi, between Midnight and Silver City. Silver City, which is the home to Jack Reed, who was Mickey Mantle's backup, and hit a home run to win the longest game the Yankees had ever played at that point, 26 innings. Plus, it's the home of Spencer Haywood, basketball player, first guy who didn't go to college and went to the NBA. It was a Supreme Court decision, and they said, man, if you have the right to make money, go ahead.
Damn.
Let these people make you go to college.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of money, did really well, and he was, it was a segregated environment, and he was treated like shit, and was really, really poor. And but I like singing in church. I like that a lot. I like hearing my mom sing because it's high voice. But I asked my grandmother, I was going to Jackson, to bring me back some blues records.
How do you even think to say it?
I don't know.
No shit.
I was like 11. And so she comes back with a Paul Butterfield blues band.
Okay.
And a blues project with Al Cooper.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, this is so cool. And then my father died when I was 12. Okay,
right.
So then stuff happens, And then we moved to Belzona, which is where I went to high school, to a segregated high school. And was kind of in the whatever. And really got more and more into music. I really liked, at the time I liked Cream. I liked all the guys from England, all the blues, Invasion people, Rolling Stones. I thought the Beatles were a little wimpy. My sister liked the Beatles. I don't feel that way anymore.
That was sisters' music.
Sisters' music.
Yeah.
And I didn't like soul music because they had horns.
I hear you.
Who wants to hear horns? Well, things change.
Yeah, I got you.
Things change. And I had a good piano teacher when I was in grammar school, but she died. So my mother had gotten my sister a guitar, and I had a song book with Bob Dylan's Desolation Row in it, and I learned the whole thing. I could possibly sing a lot of it for you now, but I won't. So anyway, I go to college, play the guitar.
Quick question. Now, was there any music in high school? Was there a was there band? As you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
there was a marching band, and you would not have caught me within 20 yards of the band. No way.
didn't
I
have
played
any.
football. I hated it with a passion.
You played football and you hated the game.
Yeah, you kind of had to.
Damn.
But my senior year, I broke my wrist, and I didn't have to play.
Lucky you.
Lucky you.
You're
I
out.
just hate it.
That's
Run into people that you know,
Yeah.
and then you have to go run into people you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like in practice. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, I went to college. It was great. I went to Mississippi State, and then I was a conscientious objector against the war in Vietnam. And my grandmother gave me some money for my birthday, and I bought a saxophone in Starkville, Mississippi, and started to play. Took some lessons at school. I'm sure the teacher was mystified. And it kind of just
Lessons
went from
at
there.
school, at college?
At college, yeah. Because you could sign up like a class.
Right.
So anyway.
So how do you decide to get a horn? What kind of horn? You got a alto or a...
Got an alto.
remember? Uh-huh.
Well, I had bought this Charles Lloyd live in Monterey. The forest flower on it. It had this psychedelic green cover. And I couldn't hear it, you know. I couldn't hear it, but I really liked it. But I liked the idea of it. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a poet. And I didn't write poetry. I just had the thought that I wanted to be a poet. Or, you know.
What did that mean?
Well,
you?
I didn't really know then.
But there was an attraction, though, to the idea. You had an idea.
The
It meant
idea.
something. What was it for you?
Well, I don't really know. I don't know. That was my thought. And then I thought, well, I'd like to play the saxophone. I'm going to be in the conscientious objector for a couple of years, and on and on. And I went to Jackson State for a while. I went to Memphis State. I went to the University of Southern Mississippi. Then I went to the Creative Music Studio in Woodstock, New York. And then I moved to New York in the fall of 1979.
So you moved around a lot. You're going to
man.
all kinds of places.
Yeah, I lived in Nashville. I lived in East Texas. I lived in Memphis. I lived in Jackson. I lived in Hattiesburg.
Damn.
Yeah, I just
And so,
like the old boll weevil.
Yeah.
Looking for a home.
yeah. So you're,
So-
but you've got, at that point, you're playing alto.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing? Are you playing along like with an album? Or are you just sitting and playing on your own? You got cats you sit down with?
No,
Or
I
what
didn't,
is it
I
for
didn't
you?
play with anybody. I played along. I was in East Texas, in the middle of nowhere, like,
Right.
you know, armadillos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had this record that had Coleman Hawkins on one side and Lester Young on the other side.
All right.
And I found out that you could kind of play along with it, you know, and it wasn't that hard. But I said this many times, my saving grace was that I didn't know how bad I was. But I practiced a lot.
So you're just plunging forward. And if you have the idea, maybe if you knew how much work you needed, you might not have done it. Like your ear was just like...
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
It was like eating cake.
Yeah.
And I practiced 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day.
God damn.
For
God
years.
damn you, George.
Yeah, I really did. And adults you can learn quicker as an adult.
And, well, so you're playing along with albums. Do you have like a book, a method book, or somebody who's guiding you a little, or what's happening?
At some point, maybe in Memphis, those Jamie Aebersold books came out.
Okay.
And records, and play along and stuff, which I think is really the backwards way to learn how to play jazz. Put the chords in front of you. Now you got to make all the changes. You don't have to make all the changes.
It's right.
No, you don't have to. Maybe you want to know what key it's in.
Yeah.
Maybe if in the bridge it changes, but it's kind of a backwards way to teach something. It's like after the fact. It's kind of like music theory. Oh, music. What would it be a theory about music? Music theory.
Sounds like
is
you
music.
have a theory.
I do.
Yeah.
No, I have an answer. Music theory is actually music fact.
Okay.
So
It's not theoretical at all.
I don't see what's theoretical about it, you know?
Yeah, I
you
hear
have a
you.
theory, and then you put it to the test, and then it changes or something. Anyways, things like that bother me.
Yeah. Was this sort of like a music minus one thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was after that, but they were really, really good. You get Sonny Rollins, you get Thelonious Monk, you get Charlie Parker. They were really great.
Okay, so then you're looking at just the chord chart and like a lead sheet type thing of.
Yeah, play the melody.
Okay.
They had a great band, and I thought it was really wonderful.
So you tuck into stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And are you able to get to like a live show? Are you hearing a horn live much, or
No.
other than your own?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Not until, well, when I was in Memphis, I was.
Mm-hmm.
And in Jackson State, and at University of Southern Mississippi, I was.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when I lived in East Texas, I went down to a town south of where we were called Nacogdoches.
Mm-hmm.
Had a college there. There's a record store. I go in and I said, man, I'd like to, you got any Charlie Parker records?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, do you know how long it's been since someone walked in here and asked me that question?
Damn.
I said, well, no. He said about 8 or 10 years. So he ordered me one, and I got one, and it was just mystifying.
Yeah.
Guys could play fast. Incredible. Charlie Parker still makes me just,
Yeah.
wonderful. It's everything in it.
Yeah. I just listened to his Volume 2 with Strings album, like, just yesterday.
It's ridiculous, right?
His playing is, aside from, like, his gymnastics, the guy, he has a voice within that somehow. Within the blazing series, you know. I love his tone.
It's really something.
Yeah. So, what made you want to hip to Charlie Parker? Did you have you
Well, you
heard
read
him?
I read Downbeat,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay. So then you get through that sort of phase of college, I'll call it, extended college and conscientious objectorism.
Objecting, yeah.
Yeah. And then where does that leave
Well,
George?
I was really interested in people like Anthony Braxton.
Okay.
It's a long story. A friend of mine had bought the 4 alto, and it's like, what in the world is this? I don't know what this is. I want to know.
Yeah, I hear
I
you.
want to do it.
Yeah.
So I went to the Creative Music Studio for a little while and studied with Anthony Braxton, played some of his music, Dave Holland, Frederick Jeffsky, Oliver Lake, Leo Smith, all these people. It was great.
You were studying with them, the actual cats.
They had one visiting artist each week when you were there.
Good Lord.
And you do this stuff in the morning, and then in the afternoon you would rehearse their music. And then on Saturday you'd give a concert of their music at Don Cherry, and on Friday night there was a student concert. So you got to really do your own music. I was also in a group in Jackson called R Supernova, and we'd do concerts and we'd play something by John Cage, John Coltrane, Ornette Coleman, Stockhausen, some standards, and stuff we wrote.
Damn.
And what's amazing to me is I've been listening to those. This is like in the mid 1970s. I sound just like me then.
Isn't that
Which
fucked
is
up?
really amazing. I don't even think I sound particularly better now. It's like, well, I think I might be better, but it was just, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, wow, I'm going to really suck. But
There it was, though.
there it was.
So you have some recordings you've heard from that era?
Well, we taped everything on cassettes,
Okay.
and I still play with those same people when I
Damn.
go to Mississippi.
Oh, right. You were telling me about that.
Unbelievable.
That you're hooking back up with
Evan
some of your
Gallagher,
same
Bruce
people.
Goldman, Jeb Stewart, bass player, drummer, piano player. Just, I don't know. We just hit it off from the start, and
Yeah, that's great.
it's still there. It's amazing.
So, creative music school,
Mm-hmm.
and you're learning from the cats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty luxurious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did it come to the point where you leave that?
Well, I asked Oliver Lake, I said, man, I'm kind of thinking about New York, moving to New York City. Oh, these are nice pants. You got to get them
Thanks,
him,
George.
though.
I just roll shit up, man. I'm not
That's what I did
particular.
with mine. Well, they're very nice.
Thanks, George.
Mm-hmm. And I said, but there's so many saxophone players there. And he said, it's always room for one more.
Goddamn right there is, George. He's right.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah. And so I moved there, and kind of through a long process, I started this band called Curlew, and then I was doing improvised things with Michael Lytle and David Moss, and just kind of kept on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then, I met Annie, and we got married, and we had a son, Ray, and then we moved to Memphis, and that was cool for 6 years. It's great to be in Memphis. And we moved here between kindergarten and the first grade, and I was shocked to find there was an incredible music scene here. First person that called me was Alden Akita.
All right, man. Yeah.
He said, man, I heard you were in town. So I started playing with him and Adam Lenz and Kerry Thomas.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
But I think the thing about why play music, why that?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it today. I think when I was in high school, it was a way for me to make something to kind of deal with anger and even maybe violence.
Mm-hmm.
But to also try to make something that's really beautiful. Because I like really pretty music by Johnny Hodges, say.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly pretty. But it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do both of those things. And I felt like with Curlew, I was writing songs and he'd rehearse, and we were pretty tight. I think we did 10 recordings for Cuneiform and some others, and it's kind of a lot. I don't even remember how it happened. I guess I called up Steve Fagenbaum at Cuneiform and said, I'd like to do another one. He'd go, okay.
That's how it was?
How does that happen?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, you must have thought that was just normal.
I don't know.
I guess that's
seemed
how
like-
it works.
Seemed like, and there was the improvised scene.
I'm just going to move this just
yeah.
ever so briefly. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
No, there's no apology. There you go.
Improvised scene was hot.
So that is what they call the downtown music scene.
Yeah,
And
it's
you were-
pretty wide.
It's pretty wide, but you were right in it. Right when
Yeah,
it was
no.
so vibrant, when boundaries were very fuzzy between the jazz bow and the like rock. Such a cool time.
Well,
And
it was a good time. It looks even better when you look back at it. For me, when it was going on, it just seemed like what happened.
yeah.
What was going on, let's do this. Want to play. People go, yes,
Yeah.
let's play. Let's record. Nobody got paid. So
Yeah.
I'm immensely grateful to all the people that played with me, especially in Curlew. We made these amazing recordings.
Yeah.
Amazing recordings.
How were live shows as far as
They were
that scene?
killing.
Yeah.
Killing.
Yeah.
They were killing.
People coming out and digging.
Places would be packed.
Damn.
But things change. Things pass. And,
Things change. Rents go crazy. Can no longer just have some vacant loft.
well, actually, I
to set up a
could
show in.
because I was living in an apartment. It was rent controlled for $223 a month,
All right.
which was cheap at any point.
Yeah.
But then I met Annie and we moved to Brooklyn, and it's just, kind of following that, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And baby and stuff, which was very, very cool.
Mhm.
And then, moved to Memphis, and I'm here, and I can't tell you how much I like playing music here. I actually think I've gotten better.
Right on.
But,
So the first people here then, Alden and Adam,
Mhm. And Kerry Thomas.
And Kerry Thomas. And that was a quartet?
You
Or
know,
was it-
there were more people. There was a guy named Steve who played trombone, and I just remember being there and showing Adam some music, and I said, that was kind of high, and he said, "You want that up an octave?" Up an octave from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but please.
Yeah.
You know, because my whole thing is has always been, let's do it together. You know, with Curla, I was the leader, but I'd always ask everybody to do a song, and when people would leave, I was lucky to be able to add people to the band because I liked them.
You liked them as players or as cats?
Both. Wayne Horvitz played a while. He played keyboard bass, even played at the Walker. He went on to do other things, and I asked Ann Ruppel to play. Wayne said, "Man, you should ask Ann Ruppel to play." And she'd been in a band called V-Effect. And she just, oh my God, nobody plays bass like she did. Just, you know, and she's a great musician also. She's from Wisconsin. And Davey Williams, who's now dead, I just can't believe he did that. You know, died.
Yeah.
Just. Anyway, I loved him dearly, and we made these amazing recordings. We made one called "A Beautiful Western Saddle" with lyrics by Paul Haynes. He worked with Carla Bley and "Escalator Over the Hill," "Tropic Appetites." Those were his lyrics, and so we made this recording. I mean, it took a long time of these songs that are just beautiful. And one of my most favorite songs, we did a cover of a Cream song called "As You Said." David Williams plays a guitar solo on it. He got done, and I thought, man, Eric Clapton, you need to go over there and sit down. And it wasn't notes, it was a slide solo.
I hear you.
It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you were having the time of your life, it sounds like, George.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, musically,
lot of
yeah,
ways.
and other stuff, crazy stuff happens, and this and that, and you know, I'm still having a wonderful time.
How does some of the other stuff you've done fit in, like some recordings you did, like with Fred Frith, and some other things I've heard through the years that are outside of some of those scenes that we've already talked about? How do those come about? And
I
what
just played
happen?
I knew Fred then, and I played on One Thing, and he produced North America and played bass on it. But then, you know, just stuff. People say, "Do you want to play?"
Yeah.
You know.
Was touring ever part of your combo? Did Curlew hit the road much?
Yeah,
or?
we toured in Europe 2 or 3 times, all over with the Knitting Factory tour one time, and played around America some, and some in Canada, not a lot, and the band with Michael Lytle and David Moss, which we call Meltable Snapsit. Michael Lytle was one of my first big musical connections. Clarinet player from Iowa. He did a record called Iowa Ear Music that got 5 stars in Downbeat.
Damn.
Which was, everybody was surprised. Even Downbeat, I'm sure. But.
Yeah.
So anyway, that group was called Meltable Snapsit, and Michael and I had done a duet record, and then we did a couple of Meltable Snapsit recordings, one with Peter Kovald. And we did the first John Zorn piece that I believe was not his group.
Okay.
And he came in and conducted it. It was kind of like, we didn't commission him. We just said, man, look, we're out here with these people in the studio in Brooklyn. If you want to.
Yeah.
George Lewis played on it. Ola Daru played on it.
Okay.
Christian Marclay played on it.
Damn.
And we did a tour all around New York State. It was an arts council thing. But, you know, can never play enough.
Yeah.
But it was good.
And so in all that time, you started playing tenor as well, and then soprano, and
Well,
how
I was
did you add
playing,
those horns?
playing tenor when I was in Mississippi. I bought one, and then I got a soprano in Woodstock that was cheap, and then that's probably enough horns for me.
Yeah. And then brings us up to Minnesota here tonight. Cartwright Pass Cafe. You're gonna play in quintet, is what we got.
George Marash, you, Josh, me, Josh Gronowski, and I think Noah Uphoven Baldwin.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of folk.
That's a whole lot of people. Yeah, and you're playing, and I haven't played enough with you.
Yeah, but
It's been a while.
we've had some great sessions.
Yeah.
I remember a couple in particular that were duet over in Minneapolis.
It was wonderful.
And man, we would just tear it up. That was so great for me.
And me.
Yeah,
me.
dig.
But I've gone on to stuff where I make a lot of stuff at home now. And I use Cubase, sometimes Ableton Live, and I kind of put sounds in and then work with them and change them until when I'm done, I don't know where I started. And I love that.
Dig.
I love that. Sounds like instruments, but you can't buy one of those. So I really like doing that, and sometimes I talk over it and sing, and or don't really sing, or I've got Annie to read over them.
Dig.
I like them a lot.
What happens with that then? What's the outlet for that beyond at your place? Are you
Well, I put
releasing
them on
on some
Bandcamp.
Okay, they're up on
I just
Bandcamp.
put them on there, people can listen to them for the most part.
And where's that, like, so you have, is there an address or something? Or you
George Cartwright Bandcamp.
Damn,
That's it.
can't go wrong with that.
I have a website.
Yeah.
Just my name.
All right.
Which is kind of crazy because it's all over the place. And why? I mean, I really like it because it's kind of like looking in the refrigerator and there's food in there and you can't quite figure out what it is.
Yeah.
You open this little box and go, and close that. Open this plastic container.
Yeah.
Why did?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, that looks dangerous.
Yes.
I'll have a little taste.
Yes.
See what George is doing
Yeah.
over there. All right.
So
well, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that.
I'll send you some. It's
Well, I
pretty-
can track it down with my computer skills.
So what else about playing music? I mean, you know as much about playing music and why as I do. So,
But I wanted to kind of get your history
that's
and
my
things you
history.
came through,
Yes.
and a lot of stuff I didn't know about. It was great.
Yeah.
And thank you for being a guest on the podcast. I know we got to set up and get our stuff going. So we'll end it here, George. And
Rock on.
we'll just say rock on. Thank you again.
And once again, we have attained terminus, moving through time. George Cartwright, my guest this week on the Cartwright Pass podcast. A big thank you to George for sitting down with me and talking about his history as an improviser. His origin story, if you will. I'm your host, Paul Metzger. And until next time, I wish you well.